Hi, this is DVC Transfer Services, and this is a video on how to find out what courses would be good to take if you're transferring to a school or planning to transfer to a school like a private or out-of-state university that does not have articulation with our school. So the way that you would find out what courses or which universities have articulation with DVC is that you could look on the DVC Transfer website, or you could look at the DVC Articulation website. Either one is fine. This is the DVC Transfer website where you click on private or out of state. You can find the universities that we do have established articulation agreements with. So these schools, you can get some guidance on the courses, but if it's not one of these schools, let's say Stanford University, you would follow this link here where it says universities not listed. Use this helpful articulation guide to find transferable classes from DVC. So if you click that guide, it takes you to our Canvas resource page that has this articulation how-to guide. And so just to go through this briefly, I'm going to walk through the steps that are listed here so that we're all aware of how to go about getting the courses that we need for these types of private schools. Let me go ahead and expand this window a little bit more so we can see it a little better. But yeah, so this is how we use this guide right here. Sorry about the extending the window here. I'm going to make it smaller, that way we can see the whole thing. So yeah, we would go ahead and want to look for the specific major prerequisite courses. That's usually a really important thing, especially if it's a competitive university such as Stanford. If it's a not as competitive university, then trying to find out these courses would be nice to have, and it could definitely save you time and money when you transfer, but it may not be as strict about getting the courses in before you transfer. It'd just be nice to have. But yeah, getting the major prereq courses and the general education courses as well, like asking if they accept IGETC or CSU-GE, so that you can maybe just complete a common set of GE courses here and then use that to transfer and clear their GE courses. Or if they use a different set of GE requirements, it could be possible as well. You also want to ask if they have a minimum GPA to be admissible and to be competitive. Like if it's a competitive major or school, then you might get some insight from the admissions office. And so I'll walk you through how to contact an admissions office as well, because that's also another process that we want to make sure you know how to reach out to them and be proactive. But yeah, so you can look for the university's major requirements for your transfer major. You could look for the keywords like degree roadmap or your degree plan or university's undergraduate major on the university's undergrad major website. Like academics might be a keyword, undergraduate majors, bachelor's degrees. And then from there you would look up the university's GE requirements. So this could be English, writing, math, social sciences, humanities, arts, science courses, but it could include other things like ethics courses or religion course for a religious school. You also want to look up if they have any transfer course equivalency lists or databases, like a transfer credit guide. These would be really helpful. It's kind of rare to find this, but if they do have it, then it would be a huge benefit for you. You could just kind of jump straight to there and then just see what courses equate to ours at DVC, and that makes your life a lot easier. But if no clear information is presented, which is the most common scenario, we encourage you to not risk guessing which courses to take at DVC. I would encourage you to just look up the transfer admissions representative or contact general admissions on the website and look up the prospective students, transfer contact, etc., and send the admissions rep an email that introduces yourself as a prospective transfer from DVC, and then tell them what major, what year you're planning to transfer, and then try to get them to review any courses to see if they can approve those courses or kind of agree that those would be good to take and would be acceptable at their university upon transferring. Or if they have any other recommendations for different courses that they would have you take at DVC. So knowing these differences will help you plan your courses at DVC. It won't leave any room for guessing, and we don't want to have that. So especially because courses can be expensive, we don't want to waste your time and money here. So getting them to review them in advance would be really nice if they can. So you want to try to ask for as much guidance as possible in the process. And you can also meet with a DVC counselor to check on the information and just make sure that you're understanding what the rep is saying to you, and help you to plan your education plan in a a good format and timeline. So just to use an example, I'm going to walk you through how to do that with Stanford University, and we'll say that my major is psychology. So just like I walked you through in the instructions here, you'd want to look up the academics and find out the psychology department. In this case, I looked under undergraduate major requirements, and it took me here. And this tells me basically my degree roadmap. If I'm going to get a bachelor's degree in psychology from Stanford, then this is what every student needs to complete. There's definitely fine print up here, which we would want to pay attention to, but it's pretty general information, so it's good to know. But then we get down here, it's specific to the courses. So Psych 1 is what they call it over there, and this is all in Stanford language. So the Psych 1 there is not the same as the one that we offer here. We don't even offer a Psych 1. So we'd have to try to find something comparable to Intro Psych, something comparable to Psych 10, which is statistics for psychology majors. And then if we can find any one of these, or as many of these as possible, that would theoretically give you a head start on your major requirements for when you transfer to Stanford. So finding as many of these as possible. Just offhand, I don't think we offer anything like these, but in this area we definitely have several, if not all, that might be a match in that area. So the way that we would check this is by looking at the DVC Psychology Department class schedule, or the catalog. So you click on the DVC Psychology website, and then you go to the catalog to get access to the psychology area of the catalog, and then you would just browse through the catalog and see, oh, this course looks similar to the Psych 1 over at Stanford, and you'd want to look through the course to see if there are any keywords matching, as many keywords as possible matching to the course description at Stanford. You may be wondering, how do I get the course description at Stanford if it's not listed on the department website? You can always look up the Stanford or the whatever school's catalog as well. And here I looked up the Intro to Psych course there, and it tells me a description of that course. And so you just go through the course description, the paragraph here, see what keywords match up. Hopefully you can find a lot of matching between this one here and the one at Stanford. You also want to check if there is any unit discrepancy. We are a semester school, so 3 semester units is what is valued here. Over there, they are on a quarter system, and so it looks like it's 5 quarter units. So if we go to a semester to quarter unit conversion chart, which you can just Google like I did, then you can see that 3 semester units is equivalent to 4.5 quarter units, which is just a little bit short of their 5 units over there. So that's definitely something that I would ask the Stanford rep about, just to make sure that unit-wise it's going to be equated and acceptable in place of their Psych 1 course. So that would be one example of how to look for course descriptions. The other thing to pay attention to is if there are any prerequisites. I'm just scrolling through, but it doesn't have that information here. But it might have, so requirements over here, it might say something like that. So if there are any prerequisites to that class, that would also be something to look at. It says recommended, but not a requirement. So if we were to look at a different course, maybe Psych 214, right? So this course does have a prerequisite. It's placement into like an Algebra 2 level math course in order to succeed in this course. And then we could look at the Stanford version of the statistics course and see if the prerequisites match up with this level of math. And if it is, then that's a good chance that it would be an equatable course to the one that we're offering here. So what we're thinking is to submit the courses that I'm looking at, Psych 101 at DVC, and then Psych 214, the statistics, over here, in place of their Psych 1 and Psych 10. So what I suggest doing is creating like a little column grid that you can use. I just put this on a Google Doc, or a Word doc would be fine, or in an email. And then you could write an email to the admissions officer. And I'll show you how to find those admissions officer contacts next. You'd write a generic letter like Dear Admissions Officer, or their name, prospective transfer student from for the, whatever year you're transferring into whatever major. You can say you're from DVC, and then here we've outlined the Stanford major requirements. Like I showed you over here, it's Psych 1, Psych 10, and then a group of courses from A and B. So Psych 1 and Psych 10, and then the group of courses from below, we don't have anything that probably matches up to Area A, so we'd probably just want to look at these courses here, and so we could just submit the equivalents here. And so the course equivalents for this area, what we'd want to do is pretty much copy the catalog description of this course. So for whatever we think is equatable, our Psych 214 would be hopefully equatable to their Psych 10 statistics course. I'm just going to put that in there. And then for the Psych 1, we could do the same thing, and then pretty much show them that hopefully our course is equatable to theirs by putting it in here. So here we would just go about just like this, copying and pasting, just like I'm doing. So you just want to do the same thing, going down the line with these other courses that we offer comparable courses to, and then submit that to the admissions office with any other questions that you have. You can put in other questions like, I'm wondering what the minimum GPA would be for this major. You can ask for admissions, deadlines, or other things that maybe aren't clear from the website. Any questions that you have would be good to put in this email. And hopefully they'll get back to you, within a week or so, and then give you some information about maybe the courses if they can provide that. Any assurance that they can give you in writing, like over email, would be a great help to you so you don't waste any time and money. But if they don't have the resources to do that, which sometimes is the case, then, we just have to do a little bit of guessing. Like I said, you just would see here, see if the course descriptions match, and then try to just take as many as you can and hope that it'll transfer. But yeah, let's go to, so this is how you would send an email. You'd fill the rest of this out, and then hopefully they'll take a look at the courses and then tell you what could be transferable, and then answer your other questions as well. So how do we find the admissions rep contacts? Because maybe you've never contacted a university rep, or you don't know how to get a hold of them. So you can go to the DVC transfer website over here, and then click on University Reps Visiting DVC. So here's the URL right up here. If you just Google DVC transfer, it's really easy to find us there. But you can click on the University Reps Visiting, and then meet with the rep. You can see if maybe they're coming to visit us on a scheduled day, and that would be nice. You could just kind of pop into their drop-in hours. If they're not listed here, then it does have a place where you can connect with them in other ways. So see where it says don't see a university rep on the calendar, try the Canvas resource page. So if we click that, then it'll take you to the university contacts list right here. It's the second one on the list, so actually if you click on it, it'll take you to a whole lot of resources, and it's the second one from the top. So you can browse the whole list of reps, not just Stanford, but everybody. In this case, I think we actually have Stanford on another page, so let me just go ahead and try to scoot to that one. The private and out-of-state rep list is a little bit different than this one. So sorry, I think I've expanded the window a little bit too much, and now I'm trying to find it again and get it back down here. Okay, so here's the bottom of the list. So the private out-of-state universities right here. We can find everything by alphabetical order. So in this case, we're looking for the S for Stanford. And so we have a contact right here and their email address. So, it's all generally public to any DVC student where you can just access it right there. So just go ahead and copy their email address, and you could use a template just like this one to send an email with any questions you have about the admissions process. You also want to do your homework about the admissions process as much as possible. So if we look at the Stanford General Undergrad Admissions website, we can see the transfer application requirements. So I encourage you to take a look at their undergrad admissions website as well before you email the rep, so you can see maybe if they answer your questions there directly. But if it's not clear, like if they don't have a specific GPA or unit minimum requirement, then maybe we do ask just to get some more information. So yeah, that might be something that you put into your email here.